Boundaries are not barriers to freedom. They are the foundation upon which intentional living is built. And that is the thought for today. Welcome to 7 Good Minutes. I'm Clyde Lee Dennis. Thanks for joining me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. In today's episode of 7 Good Minutes, we talk about starting strong and setting clear boundaries for your day. Enjoy. Before your feet hit the floor this morning, your day was already making demands on you. Text messages waiting for responses, emails requiring attention, tasks pulling you in different directions, and people expecting your time and energy. Without clear boundaries, you become reactive rather than intentional, scattered rather than focused, overwhelmed rather than empowered. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how to establish clear boundaries that protect your energy, honor your priorities, and create space for what truly matters in your day. Boundaries aren't walls that keep life out. They're guidelines that help life flow in the direction you choose. Think of them as the banks of a river. Without banks, water spreads everywhere, becoming shallow and stagnant. With clear banks, water flows with purpose and power. Your day needs those same clear channels to flow with intention and effectiveness. Setting boundaries for your day begins before the day officially starts. It starts with a conscious decision about how you want to show up, what you want to accomplish, and what you're willing to say no to in service of what matters most. This isn't about being rigid or inflexible. It's about being intentional and protective of your most valuable resources: your time, energy, and attention. Consider the boundary of time. Every yes to one thing is a no to something else. When you say yes to scrolling social media for 30 minutes, you're saying no to 30 minutes of reading, exercise, or meaningful conversation. When you say yes to that extra meeting, you're saying no to focused work time or personal restoration. Recognizing this trade-off helps you make more conscious choices about how you spend your hours. Energy boundaries are equally important. You have a finite amount of mental and emotional energy each day. Some activities and interactions drain this energy, while others restore it. Setting boundaries means being mindful of what depletes you and what energizes you, then structuring your day accordingly. This might mean scheduling demanding tasks when your energy is highest, or protecting time for activities that restore your spirit. Attention boundaries protect your focus from the constant interruptions that fragment your day. This means creating spaces where you can work deeply without distraction, where you can be fully present with the people you care about, and where you can think clearly about what matters most. It might mean turning off notifications during focused work time, or establishing specific hours when you're available for non-urgent communications. The key to effective boundaries is clarity, both for yourself and others. When you're clear about your limits, you can communicate them kindly but firmly. Instead of feeling guilty about saying no, you can feel confident that you're protecting something valuable. Instead of being overwhelmed by endless demands, you can feel empowered by your choices. Start small with your boundary setting. Choose one area where you feel most scattered or overwhelmed. Maybe it's the first hour of your morning, or your lunch break, or the transition time between work and home. Decide what you want that time to look like, then create clear guidelines to protect it. Notice how this small change affects your sense of control and well-being. Remember that boundaries aren't selfish. They're necessary. When you protect your time, energy, and attention, you show up more fully for the people and activities that matter most. You become more present, more focused, and more generous with your best self rather than your depleted self. Boundaries also require maintenance. Life will constantly test them. Urgent requests will arise. Unexpected opportunities will present themselves, and people will push against your limits. This is normal. The key is to pause before responding, to check in with your priorities, and to make conscious choices rather than automatic reactions. Some days your boundaries will hold perfectly, and you'll feel the satisfaction of a day well lived. Other days, you'll need to adjust, compromise, or start fresh. This is part of the process. The goal isn't perfection. It's progress toward a more intentional way of living. As you move through today, remember that you have the power to shape your experience. You can choose how to spend your time, where to direct your energy, and what deserves your attention. These choices, made consciously and consistently, create the boundaries that transform scattered days into purposeful ones, overwhelming schedules into manageable rhythms, and reactive living into intentional being. Your day is yours to design. Set the boundaries that honor your values, protect your well-being, and create space for what matters most. You deserve to live with intention, and your boundaries are the tools that make it possible. That does it for today's episode of 7 Good Minutes. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on the platform you're listening on. Until next time, let's be civil to one another out there. Thanks for listening.